Hello. How's everybody?
Hi.
So I've been talking with Kim about producing a black and white version.
Huh?
It means tweaking all the photos if we do, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would make a version that would be quite a bit more affordable for a lot of people.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And and the photos seem to turn out okay that way.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little worried, like, would this just be too washed out or something? But no, it looks good. And Kim has a process for making them look really good.
Mm.
Um, oh, I know why I'm not doing it. So in my, beginning days of photography, color was a distraction and also separated us from. It was too close to life
Uh-huh.
itself. It's interesting that it's kind of like a puritanical view of the
Yeah.
world. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when does it give you, when is it too much information? Like that's what they put on Facebook, too much information.
Right.
Yeah, when is it too much information? When it's just curious, how much does it add, all that stuff? And just the same when you're giving a talk. And what you've struggled with in your book is when is it too much information?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
there's stuff in Zen, as you know, that you should just say what what's absolutely necessary.
Right.
I mean, that's part of right speech, right? Isn't it?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, I think the main provision is that you shouldn't engage in idle chit chat, but that your conversation should be conducive toward the Dharma.
and one could see color like that in
Right.
that vein.
hmm
Um, but for example, the word offerings, in color
hmm
is, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not when. But I wrote Peg this story where I took my students to see an exhibit. It was actually an exhibit of German Expressionist prints, like Katie Kolowitz. They were all in black and white. And the next gallery over was Peoria Watercolor Society, which were terrible. And I couldn't get the students out of that room.
Oh, that's funny.
It
Yeah.
was like a design or drawing one class or something like that. And yeah,
Yeah, my sense of it was that color would draw people in um, and engage them with this story.
and that appears to be the way the world is. You know,
Apparently,
like
but the
sugar and salt.
but the black and white version could be quite beautiful also.
Yeah. Well, I'm fine doing that.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I have no problem with that. I just love doing that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I would be,
I don't think I should do it till you're done
yeah.
because it will be harder to make edits then.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. And then we would have two versions going, which would not be a good thing.
Well, oh, right. Yeah. So whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's like book one is actually done editing. So the images from book one could be done.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Let me like I created a set of files for Cassie that are all the color images from chapter 11 on. And so all we need to do is put the ones from chapter 1 through 10. I'll give you the link to that folder.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment different whether to do it in the PDF, whether to do it in Affinity.
I like Affinity Photo quite a bit.
Well, I would in Infinity I can do it. Yeah. So if you send me the Affinity file,
Hmm.
then I could do it right there, and you wouldn't
Oh,
have to
okay.
do any work after that.
Oh, okay, great.
That would be the easiest, I think. And
Oh,
I
okay.
looked at Affinity today, and it does all the things that Photoshop does in terms of that I need to do.
And you know what they've done with it? Did you read what they've done with it?
No.
It's now completely free, the whole suite, now and forever.
Oh, I got it free, but I didn't realize that.
No ads, no nothing.
How can they do that?
Everybody asks that. They answer that on the website. They talk about this decision.
Oh,
There are some really advanced features you'll never need that have to do with AI that are at a different pricing tier.
well, that's very interesting.
I know, I know. Yeah,
Okay. Well, we're here. Everyone can see it, right?
you can see it. I've got it up in Affinity on my screen so I can make changes when we run across things that need changing.
Okay, so let's read in order of Ann, Kim, Lynn, Peg.
Okay, sounds good.
Chapter 18, Offerings. By now, having been immersed in the Sangh's history, social architecture, and principles, you're probably wondering, yes, but what do people actually do at Appamada? This chapter gives an overview of all our regular programs, informal gatherings, special programs, intensives, classes, and ceremonies. You can find these activities as well as the Zoom links for joining them online on Appamada's main calendar here.
The foundation of any Zen practice, individually or in community, is Zazen, meditation and stillness and silence. Earlier, we discussed this practice and its central role in our practice of relational Zen. The heart of Appamada's programming are the Zazen periods, weekday mornings, Monday noon. I don't get the Monday noon.
Didn't you move it to Monday? I thought it was on Wednesday noon, and then didn't it get moved to Monday?
Well, that's kind of a discussion.
Hmm.
I would
Should it say,
actually,
should it say
oh, well, I guess if we're going to call Wednesday evenings a Zazen period.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
I don't know it's noon. You have to check the calendar. I don't go to that.
Oh, okay.
Here, just I'm doing it. Monday is today, 11:30.
Okay.
Zazen and sharing.
Okay.
They
And during our Sunday morning program.
they say that they will try to change that Monday to Wednesday again when someone is available. So I don't know if,
Oh,
well,
it's a moving target.
Well, we can leave it at that because we've already told people to check the calendar.
Okay.
exactly. And then, sorry, now that I interrupted, in the link of the calendar, if at some point over the years it changes, I don't know, maybe it would be easier just to let know appamada.org and then let people look for the name of the link.
Hmm. Okay. There we go. All right, good.
Okay, Melinda, it's your turn.
Weekday morning zazen starts at 6:30. 1 hour of zazen with a 5-minute interval to stretch or shift position at 7. A short service follows, with several chants, brief verses of repentance and refuge, a dedication of merit, and bodhisattva vows. In Appendix 30, you can see the chants for the morning service, along with the commentary about them.
So I just took that out because I actually put it into the chapter. So it's not in the appendix now, it's in the chapter right below. So we'll get to it in a minute.
Okay. During morning zazen, individual practice discussion with a Dharma teacher is available by request, both for participants on site and those online.
The Sunday morning program starts with an optional orientation at 8 o'clock for those new to Appamada or Zen practice. Zazen begins at 9 and features 2 Zazen periods with walking meditation, kinhin, between them. Walking meditation is often led outdoors, weather permitting. Again, practice discussion is available during Zazen periods. A Dharma talk with Q&A or way-seeking mind talk follow. Dharma talks are recorded and posted on our SoundCloud, this should say and YouTube channel. Okay, just an omission there. After the Sunday program, folks often gather for an informal brunch at Central Market, a cafe, and a nearby grocery.
Wednesday evening zazen begins at 7. It is especially designed for newcomers and those who cannot join us in the mornings. It begins with a short introduction to a specific meditation practice and a brief guided meditation to start the first sitting period. The second sitting is a regular zazen period, silent and still, an opportunity to practice the methods introduced in the first period. An informal tea follows, a time for questions and discussion. Each week, the Wednesday evening program focuses on a particular topic that varies. For example, loving kindness, concentration, Gaia, nature, koans, Zen in the body. During any of these programs, it is fine to join us during any interval or walking meditation time.
We don't do the tea now since we're not meeting in person. So
Let me take that out then. Okay, there we go.
still, Zen living is abundant living, not austere ascetic attachment. It is the very fabric of our everyday life and the lives of those we touch. We teach Zen practice as relationality. We are in intimate relationship with ourselves, with the other beings, with everything we experience in this very moment. Well, that's a tricky word, intimate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Zen meaning is like not knowing is most intimate,
Right,
as opposed to how it's usually used.
right.
I mean, I don't know if it's more confusing to have it like, how about it? Could say we are in relationship with ourselves. How do you feel, Anne and Len, when you see that?
I think the rest of it kind of explains it. We are in intimate relationship with ourselves, with other beings, with everything we experience in this very moment.
Okay.
I think that kind of answers the question. I mean, it sort of nullifies the question of intimacy.
Len agrees. Okay.
I need to fix something that's broken here. So on my end, not on your end, it's something that's broken on my end. Okay. All right, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it Malen?
Yeah, I thought Kim was going to read that, but
Oh, okay. So the foundation of Zen practice is daily sitting meditation, Zazen. But that is not all of Zen practice. Study, regular meetings with a teacher, intensive retreats, participating in the life of the Sangha, the community practice, and the deep inquiry into our everyday lives are essential components, complements to Zazen. Okay,
Should we read the side panel?
sure.
Yeah.
reflection and song of the grassroots hermitage. This is a chant that I know best from our monthly Wednesday night koan practice, but I regularly go back and reread it because it uses brilliant illustrative language to remind me that my work is to confront the seeming duality of things while remaining embodied and ultimately incapable of transcending my physical form while I'm alive. So many of the spiritual practices I've encountered encourage dualistic thinking with regard to the world and ourselves, asking us to diminish our physical being in pursuit of purity, light, and godness. This chant reminds us that we are not trying to get anywhere, and that our practice is to live within the tension of seemingly opposite forces while being fully human. And that is possible no matter how difficult it seems.
Okay, let me get to that point in my here. The closing lines emphasize that our thinking, which is what usually gets me into trouble, and the sum total of all the wisdom that has been written and spoken of in the history of the world are valuable only inasmuch as they help us recognize that they are themselves not true wisdom.
Thousands of words, myriad interpretations are only to free you from obstructions. If you want to know the undying person in the hut, don't separate from this skin bag here and now. To understand our humanity and realize our Buddha nature is to simply be in this fragile but resilient, unpredictable, but regular skin bag, and to do it without trying to get anywhere else. What a relief. Amanda Q, Sangha member, board member. Should the next to the last or the third to the last paragraph be somehow indented or quotations? I know that Amanda didn't do that, but I also know that it's part of the chant.
Yeah, someone wouldn't know, who might not know, and be very confused, thinking it was her words.
Right, I'll put quotes around it.
Yeah. And I think you could use the right dash after fully human,
Uh,
an M dash.
Fully human.
Two paragraphs above,
oh, up above. Okay, yeah,
while being fully human.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Good.
Oh, we have more. No. Oh, that's different stuff. Okay.
Goes across both pages.
Mm.
That's why both pages are white.
Oh, okay.
So it goes, in
Oh, I
convention.
see. Okay, so we'll read left and then right.
Yeah.
So it's your turn, Kim.
Below are the chants we use in our services at Appamada, together with my commentary about them. Everyday chants in Appamada services annotated. Verse of the robe. The verse of the robe is traditionally chanted as Zen monks begin their day, placing their folded robes on their heads as they chant to venerate them. But there is a larger sense in which we all take up the robe of the practice of this Buddhist tradition, folded before us like a great mystery. Vast is the robe of liberation, a formless field of benefaction, wearing the universal teaching. I realize the one true nature, thus harmonizing all being.
True spiritual freedom is boundless, uncountable, immeasurable, and profound. It is also a force field for the benefit of all that lives. All that lives. It is pure, uncontaminated good. We wrap ourselves in the teaching of the Buddha, a luminous expression of who we truly are, and in this way realize our intimate connection with all existence, an unbroken field of life, or what the Tibetan teacher Longchenpa called the creative intelligence of the universe.
That's
What?
no, I thought I saw something, but I didn't. Okay.
4 practice principles. This translation and distillation of the Buddha's Four Noble Truths was developed by poet and translator Alan Capro, a student of Joko Beck, as she was putting the traditional chants into contemporary language. See if you can identify each noble truth in this poetic verse. Caught in the self-centered dream, only suffering. Holding to self-centered thoughts, exactly the dream. Each moment, life as it is, the only teacher. Being just this moment, compassion's way.
All existence is characterized by dukkha, literally a wheel out of kilter, often translated as dissatisfaction, dis-ease, stress, struggle, or suffering.
Why is there a parenthesis there?
Together with dukkha arises thirst, craving, desire, and wanting, including aversion. Samudaya. The thirst which is arising can cease. The containment of that energy leading to sensation and transformation is nirodha. This transformation manifests as life unfolding in accord with the Noble Eightfold Path, marga, the path of wisdom and compassion.
This is really small, but you're missing a space in the last bullet, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Repentance. The word repentance carries a lot of associations for those in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Here it is not intended to invoke shame, blame, guilt, or recrimination. A better word would probably be acknowledgement or acceptance. The sequence of repentance, refuge, and vow here take on new meaning. Do you want that plural, new meanings, because they're different words?
Um,
But the sequence, I guess.
yeah, we're talking about the sequence.
Okay, I get it. Traditionally, each verse is simply repeated 3 times. An evolution of the morning chants appeared to me in a deep period of zazen. In this new form, each chant begins with the personal, then opens to the collective we, and then beyond that to all being and to the power of vow itself. It connects our intention and aspiration to our larger place in the world beyond our self-centered concerns, and it transforms our vows from something overwhelming and impossible, a solitary hero's journey, to something enacted together through the power of vow itself. I saw something.
Mm.
Sorry. I don't know. Is there a space between the second dash and the word to? Or is,
I'll see. Yes, there we go.
but there was another one too. There was something else. Oh, I know. Self-centered. There's a space there.
Oh, yeah. Good eye.
All my ancient twisted karma for beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, born through body, speech, and mind, I now fully avow.
Karma is not good or bad, as in the popular view. It is not the outcome or consequences of your actions. Karma is simply the intention that is the origin of any thought, word, or action, exactly as if you decided to drop a pebble into a pond and watch its ripples spread in the still water. We cannot control where the ripples will spread or ultimately their effects. We can only control our intention. However, the Buddha taught that we can discern those intentions and actions we are, which are wholesome, healthy, leading to happiness and to liberation for ourselves and others. With this verse, we acknowledge in this life there are thoughts, words, and actions, and their absence I am responsible for habits, mistakes, and ignorance, as well as grasping, aversion, and confusion, have caused upset, struggle, and harm for myself, others, and the world. I am responsible also for whatever beneficial, compassionate, and wise intentions and actions I have offered myself and others. All of this is who I am. I stand up and openly avow it, here and now. Second verse. All our ancient twisted karma from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, born through body, speech, and mind, we now fully avow.
This karma I bear is also collective. In our culture, in this present era, we can witness the karmic consequences and residue of our historical thoughts, words, and actions in groups and in the larger society. Racism, wars, slavery, misogyny, environmental destruction, and so on are the product of collective action and have effects that are felt by everyone. We have also collectively created beneficial, wise, and compassionate institutions, systems, actions, and policies. As we stand here together, we avow the karma that has been created through our collective intentions and actions. Third verse. All the ancient twisted karma from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, born through body, speech, and mind, all being now fully avows.
Okay, two things. One is in the one above it, should there be a comma after mind as there is below?
Yeah.
Okay, and one more thing is I think there's a space here. Do you see that? Actions dash and?
Hold on a second. Yeah. And oh, after actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Good, great.
Okay. Our karma comes from beginningless greed, hate, and delusion. Single-celled protozoa have organelles that are poison spears with which they kill and eat their prey. Single-celled creatures evolved also to collaborate in creating multi-celled beings, which over time evolved into myriad species and a dazzling variety. We acknowledge here the participation of all being in the creation of karma, the consequences of which all beings inhabit.
So I'm wondering about single celled. Is there an extra space there?
Yes. There we go.
So I have another question about karma. Um, not all karma comes from greed, hate, and delusion.
No, it all comes from intention.
So, but it says here, someone could read this meaning that all karma comes from greed, hate. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you wrote, I don't know, summer or something, or I don't know what you want, a better way, but
Okay. I'd say,
Hmm.
um, let's see. How would I put that? I'm gonna just give it I'm gonna change its color so I remember to come back to it and figure
okay.
it there. Yeah.
And you read, right?
Right, it's your turn.
Refuges. It's rather daunting to feel the weight of all the karma extending back to the beginnings of life on earth and across all existence. Naturally, then, we seek refuge in that which can nourish and sustain us, that which has endured for the millennia and which warmly connects us with each other and with the good. I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in Dharma, I take refuge in Sangha.
There are three reliable places we can find enduring support, care, and guidance on our path of waking up and growing together. The first is the Buddha, which means not only the historical figure who inspires and illuminates us, our path, but a Buddha nature within us, the eternal light that is our very life.
The second is the Dharma, which means not only the brilliant teachings of the historical Buddha, but also the wisdom teachings of the awakened teachers, men and women, who followed in his path, and the teachings we are offered in every moment of experience in our daily lives.
Yeah, so you have an extra space here.
Yeah.
The third is Sangha, which means not only the community of practice here at Appamada, but all sincere followers of the Buddhist path. And ultimately, that means all living beings. I can find refuge here. We take refuge in Buddha before all being, immersing body and mind deeply in the way, awakening true mind. We take refuge in Dharma before all being, entering deeply the merciful ocean of Buddha's way. We take refuge in Sangha before all being, bringing harmony to everyone free from hindrance.
We together also seek refuge. We stand here without pretense or apology in front of all existence. Here's where and how we collectively take refuge in these three inexhaustible golden fountains of awakening. Now all being has completely taken refuge in Buddha. Now all being has completely taken refuge in Dharma. Now all being has completely taken refuge in Sangha.
Anyone, anywhere, any life form can find refuge in the three treasures that are the Buddha's offering for a suffering world. All being is filled with the light of life itself. All being is actually residing in this triple refuge in every moment. This verse simply expresses that.
Echo. We practice not only for our own benefit, but for the benefit of all existence. In the spirit of recognizing that whatever merit we create through our practice belongs to all being, we make this offering. May we awaken Buddha's compassion and luminous mirror wisdom. We dedicate this service to our original ancestor in India, great teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, our first female ancestor, great teacher Mahapajapati, our first ancestor in China, great teacher Bodhidharma, our first ancestor in Japan, great teacher Eihei Dogen, our first ancestor in Japan, great teacher Eihei Dogen, our first ancestor in India, great teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, our first ancestor in India, great teacher Mahapajapati, our first ancestor in China, great teacher Bodhidharma, our first ancestor in Japan, great teacher Eihei Dogen, our first ancestor in India, great teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, our first ancestor in China, great teacher Bodhidharma, our first ancestor in India, great teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, our first ancestor in Japan, great teacher Eihei Dogen, Our compassionate founder, great teacher, Jogaku Shunryu. Our compassionate founder, great teacher, Joko Beck. Our compassionate founder, great teacher, Zenke Blanche Hartman. The perfect wisdom, Bodhisattva Manjushri.
Hartman is one N.
That's what I thought.
I just looked it up too.
Yeah, it's one N.
Yeah.
In our Zen tradition, we honor the lineage of teachers who have transmitted this excellent practice and the Buddha's wisdom down through generation after generation, through war times, famine, pandemic, political strife, economic hardship, and every struggle that has afflicted people over the centuries. They shared this practice not only with rulers and royal courts, but with peasants, farmers, fishermen, in cities and countrysides, for men, women, and children too. The teachings were passed down, it is said, not in letters and texts, but warm hand to warm hand. These faithful stewards of the Dharma had delivered it into our hands, and this verse expresses our respect and appreciation. We cherish and honor their memory.
We offer the merit of our practice for the welfare of all beings everywhere. May all be relieved of suffering, free from fear, longing, aversion, and ignorance, and may we together with all beings realize the awakened way.
Okay, I just put that in a box where it's supposed to be in
Oh, okay.
chant boxes. Yeah.
In the Fukan Zazengi, Zen Master Dogen wrote about Zazen. You should therefore cease from practice based on intellectual understanding, pursuing words and following after speech, and learn the backward step that turns your light inwardly to illuminate yourself. But our
Oh, go ahead. Go on.
But our practice is not only for ourselves, for self-reflection, self-improvement, or even self-enlightenment. This is an important distinction between this school of Buddhism and other forms of contemplative practice, mindfulness, or meditation. We are in intimate relationship with all being. We practice to prepare ourselves for our work in the world,
Redress.
redressing Thank you. The forces of greed, hatred, and ignorance, supporting all life in cultivating all that is wholesome, wise, compassionate, and connecting in ourselves and in others. We do this work with Appamada, mindful, energetic care. Can I just please I will take a screenshot of this. I really found it interesting. Thank you.
Bodhisattva vow. Once we have acknowledged our karma and taken refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we are prepared to meet the world with some confidence, courage, and creativity. We are inspired, strengthened, and warmly connected to all being. We are at home in the world, no matter what our circumstances. Our aspiration is to help the suffering beings in the world and free them from the pain created by grasping, aversion, and ignorance. This is an enormous undertaking. Here is how we meet the challenge. Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gate is boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it.
The Dalai Lama said, "We are responsible toward the whole world." At first, this alarmed me. I thought, I can't be responsible for the whole world. I'm just one person. Then I realized what he actually said. We are responsible for this one life we have been given. We are responsible towards the whole world. Everything we think, say, and do has effects. So I can be responsible for my aspiration and my intention.
Don't you want to capitalize the we after he actually said?
Let's see.
Oh, I see you have a colon there. I didn't see that.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, no, I take it back. Okay. I saw it first as a period.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my vow, a lifetime commitment that is personal and impossible to accomplish, but it creates a functional orientation toward the world. I can do this, but it creates a functional or toward the world. I can do this.
Go on.
It just seems awkward a little.
Let's see.
Does it to either of you? But it creates a function that I can do this. I don't know.
You have to read the whole paragraph, actually.
Okay. I can meet the world from this aspiration and act from it with respect to whatever and whomever I encounter. I can free all beings from my own grasping, aversion, and ignorance. And in the process, I free myself. This is my path, my practice path and vow. Beings are numberless. We vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. We vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. We vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. We vow to embody it.
Still, the Buddha never asked his followers to do anything impossible. The work of liberating all beings, ending delusions, entering the Dharma gates of each moment, and embodying the way taught by the Buddha is also our collective, collaborative endeavor. We have powerful impact when we work together for the welfare of all beings in our planet. In a very real sense, the difficulties and challenges we face in the world today are beyond the capacity of any individual. We must make real sacrifices and join forces to meet them. We need to put our minds, our hearts, and our bodies to work together, and this begins with our closest relationships and spiritual friendships. Beings are numberless. This vow frees them all. Delusions are inexhaustible. This vow ends them all. Dharma gates are boundless. This vow enters them all. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. This vow embodies it.
Yet we recognize that the work of liberation is actually fueled and directed by this deep vow. It is not a vow we take, it is a vow that has taken us, turned us into the vehicle for the mysterious transformation of beings. We are not the agents of this transformation. We are the instruments by which this vow frees beings, cuts through delusions, enters this moment's Dharma gate, and realizes the Buddha way in this world, in this place, and in this time. We can relax. We are not doing anything, striving for anything, attaining anything, accomplishing anything. By the power of the vow flowing through us like a river, everything is realizing itself. This is what Dogen called the self-fulfilling samadhi, life unfurling its majestic tapestry through us, playing its magnificent symphony through us, dancing its astonishing choreography through us.
And there might be an extra space here before life.
Yeah, I see that.
And also, do you want life to be capitalized?
Hold on here. Um, I don't know about that actually. Yeah, okay.
Concluding thoughts. We do 3 bows finally because this puts our body into the space of acceptance and reverence for life in each moment. It returns us to the earth, reminding us of our home and grounding us right here and now. Prepared in this way, we turn back to the world with, as the Oxherding pictures put it, gift bestowing hands. Here's the arc of this morning's service in a nutshell.
One, I honestly admit the karma I've created and the collective karma I've carried, which stretches back to the origins of life itself. 2. Given the import of this admission, I take refuge in that which provides nourishment, care, and support. The Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I take refuge personally. We take refuge collectively with others, and in fact, all beings, all existence can find refuge there. 3. Stepping out of self-centered concerns, I honor our lineage of teachers and offer whatever merit my practice has generated for the welfare of all beings. 4. Having taken refuge in what supports life, I am prepared to turn toward the world and realize this aspiration individually, collectively, and through the mysterious functioning of vow. It is a powerful way to start a day of life on earth. You can find Appamada's chant book on the web here, http://appamada.org, study.
Appamada offers opportunities to engage and practice more deeply in other ways as well. Classes. Like many other Zen centers, we have regularly offered classes and workshops on various topics. On our website, SoundCloud, and YouTube channels, you can find links to the materials and recordings from many Appamada classes, including the Foundations of Zen series, 13 short classes on topics central to our teachings. Through the years, we have recorded over 2,000 Dharma talks, classes, inquiries, and intensive talks. Here are some of Appamada's other regular offerings.
So I don't know that this number is probably not current, right, Kim? It's probably closer to like 2,400 or something like that. You're muted, so.
Kim, you're muted.
The number's goofy because we have SoundCloud that we don't have YouTube of.
Yeah.
So there's some that are the same and there's, different. And
Yeah. How many all of them are up at SoundCloud though, right?
Dharma talks, yes.
Yeah.
Depth and practice we're only doing on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where it says on Sound. I'm looking on SoundCloud.
Ah. The last time I checked, it was 2,000 something.
Here we go. Oh, this is the number of plays, the number of reposts, the number. No,
What you want is like the number of tracks or something like that.
I'm looking under tracks. I thought. Okay, tracks. I'll look. I'll work on that. How
Yeah, that's
many?
okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'm just guessing at 2,400, but I know it's over 2,000. Okay, good.
It tells the number of minutes.
Yeah.
144,000 minutes.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe I should put that in.
It's at 570 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you say again when Appamada, the year when Appamada was founded?
2009,
9.
January 2009, yeah. Yeah, but we, of course, had a Sangha before then, which started in 1995 as Ordinary Mind. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. So is it my turn or is it
Yes, it's your turn.
a fresh approach to intensives? Another set of dilemmas for Appamada arose around the subject of sessions, which we call intensives. At Great Vow, there are usually 2 sessions a month. At ZCSD, Joko had offered 3-day and 5-day sessions every other month. They were fully immersive residential experiences where participants who traveled from all over the world brought sleeping bags and slept on the floor. All meals were made in the kitchen there. At Great Vow, too, people came for sessions full-time, sleeping in the men's and women's dorm. Residents cooked meals in that vast school kitchen. Great Vow was far enough out in the country that traveling back and forth from home and town was not practical. Even at Austin Zen Center, sessions were full-time, although participants went home to sleep.
Such sustained practice, hours and hours spent sitting silently with others, walking together, eating together, working together, challenges us physically, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. It's so tiring to maintain our conditioning, our ego protections, our stories, and our social appearances that within a few days of session, we wear ourselves down enough to stop the struggle and settle down into a bit of ease and clarity, beginning again to connect with our inherent wisdom about our own lives, right here and right now. It's a priceless gift of time and space. Joko used to say, there's nothing else that does what a session does. It would be nice if there was water skiing or something, but there isn't.
So these are 3 different paragraphs, but did you not do a space because there wasn't room on it?
No, for some reason they reverted to without having a style.
Mm.
They decided that all on their own. So I just had to apply the style to them.
Oh, okay.
Body, Univere body. It's supposed to be Univere body style is supposed to have 6 points between paragraphs.
Oh, up above too, I guess. It's the
Yeah,
same deal under classes.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah, exactly. I don't know why it suddenly decided to do that, but oh well. These are the tiny, tiny little things I'm fixing right.
Mm.
So should I read the names of the courses?
No, you don't need to read those unless
Okay.
just taking them.
We knew what a sesshin could do, of course. Flint and I had, over the years, sat many sesshins and led quite a few ourselves. We wanted to provide our Sangha members the rich experience of sesshins, longer, deeper times of practice and community. We knew that sesshins had profound effects on our lives and on our connections with each other, sharing zazen, meals, dharma talks, walking, meditation, and work practices slows the pace of life, quiets it, enriches it.
The first dilemma was logistical. It takes an enormous amount of planning, preparing, and coordinating to provide a one-week residential intensive. Venues must be found and paid for in advance. Menus must be planned, groceries purchased and stored, equipment for cooking and dining need to be transported. The teachings and schedules need to be prepared. There was a great deal of expense in advance of any registration income. And participants needed to make arrangements to be away for a week from work, from family and pets, from caregiving and other responsibilities.
So I'll read this piece by Stephanie on the facing page. The first intensive was very hard physically, probably that way for most people. Intensives continued to be a challenge for me physically because of back fusion and arthritis. I struggled with feelings of inadequacy because I couldn't sit lotus position on a cushion or do full prostrations. But there were a couple of other people my age who also had to adapt the way they sat and or bowed. But what changed for me in this practice was a talk by Flint during one intensive. He talked about the difficulty of sitting for long periods, and he encouraged us to try to think about just sitting for 5 more minutes, not thinking about the next 30 minutes or the next 7 or 8 zazen periods for the day. Just be curious about whether our bodies could lean into this being uncomfortable for 5 more minutes. It was miraculous. 5 minutes passed, and I checked in with my body and felt I could do 5 more minutes. And so it went, all day for each 30-minute zazen period. Was I still uncomfortable? Absolutely. But I was no longer suffering over it, and that was the difference.
So you see that she has two spaces after the periods
Yeah, I've just
all
been
the way through.
yeah, I've just been fixing these. Yeah.
Okay. Flint and I,
I'm just wondering how many more pages because our times,
Oh,
if we
right.
if we want,
I think it's probably, let's see, if I,
it seems like quite a few.
it's quite a few pages. Yeah, I think we would want to stop here probably.
Okay, so
Um, Flint and I, so Flint and I were still working full time is where we are. Yeah. It was refreshing to do a little writing late in the evening, I find. I just really, I feel like it's kind of a um, filtering out of all the day residue and everything, and it makes it very peaceful.
I just had one thing I wrote. I wondered how the explanation of the chants would appear to a seasoned practitioner. So much is usually not explained. And when do explanations enhance the practice and when do they limit? And even with explanations, there is lots of room for wondering and exploration. So that's always the dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like we never had any explanation for it at all, but because we changed the chants the way they're usually conventionally done, I originally wrote this for the Sangha so they would understand why do we not just say the same chant over and over again 3 times? And what was the point of that? So, uh, so this was really an explanation because there was a change. Yeah.
I didn't write anything, but I I enjoyed this chapter and I enjoyed the explanations, even though we have talked about them over the years for me. And right now I was wondering, I don't know if it is written to say that these chants at some traditional centers or temples are chanting Japanese and probably have an appendix with the Japanese ones. I don't know. It is just a thought that came now.
Yeah, I wouldn't point people to the Japanese, but I might say something about that. But it varies so much. I mean, so many of the centers are not chanting in Japanese anymore at all. It's such a mix, and I think that centers that are more closely tied, like to the original teachers that came from Japan, are the ones that still do some chanting in Japanese. And we do a little bit. I mean, we did during the Dharma transmission ceremonies because that's very formal, and that makes sense. Yeah. And sometimes we'll do one in Japanese, like the Shosai Myo Kichijo Dharani, or um, yeah, or sometimes the Kanzeon. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I wanted to point people to the chant book because those Japanese chants are in there. All the Japanese chants that we used to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Malin. I didn't write anything. I must admit, I'm working on my office work still.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really enjoy hearing your explanation of the chants and, you're thinking about that. And and I guess my take on Kim, what you were saying about, how much does it take away from the practice and how much does it add to the practice to have somebody say, here's my thinking about this, is to always remember this is a person's thinking about it. This is not the last and final word.
No. Shohaku wrote a whole entire book about them,
Yeah.
explicating them. Yeah. Well, I can tell you what I wrote. I said, it's harrowing to keep discovering so many things that need to be, even after careful construction and rereading, but so helpful to have other skillful eyes on it. I have spent so much time on this project, such devotion, and now I'm at the stage of wonder about whether it was truly worth it, whether it will serve some purpose for readers, or whether it will be just too much to be useful. I can't control too much for that. I've done my best, and now we'll just have to see if the arrow finds its target. I hope the size of it does not discourage other sagas from recording their own stories. It's so hard to gauge from inside it. Oh,
Yeah.
so hard to tell.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of it. So, and I was saying to Alice, like, feel free to tell me cut this whole thing out. I cannot do that myself. It would be like saying, well, I want to be a little shorter. Should I cut out my knees or should I cut out my ankles? Or, like, it'd be like that, right? I can't, to me, it's all one piece. So I can't figure out where the joints are where I would cut it. That's my problem. So, uh, but so far, Alice has not been helpful in that regard because
Mm.
she's enjoying reading it so much. So it's very funny because, you know, I'm like, say something really critical, something really, just say something really critical. Take this whole chapter out. Uh, but she may end up becoming an Appamada regular if she keeps reading further. Yeah. But it's good to bounce things off of her and get her take on things, and it's very, very helpful.
You've
Yeah.
you've talked about that problem in graduate school
Yeah.
of not getting severe criticism.
Well, not getting ideas of what to cut. It's like
Mm.
not getting a sense of just take this paragraph out, or, like this whole section is unnecessary, or, you know, the first paper I sent to a journal was 80 pages long. And the editor called me and asked if I would do some editing. And I thought, thank God, I said, what do you recommend? And he said, could you flesh out a little more childhood? And I'm like, it's already 80 pages. You have a journal, a journal, you know? And he said, I'm putting out a double issue in the spring to publish this. I'm like, no, 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 that's not helpful. This is not helping me. This is not helping me. And an editor's in the sort of literature about this, which I know a lot about because of the writing center and because of teaching writing, it's all really useless things like take out what's unnecessary.
Mm.
Okay, how do you decide what's unnecessary?
Mm.
Right? It could be a pamphlet, right? It could be almost any length if you decided to just chop stuff out of it. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that would be. So, uh, hard to tell. But I know my son would have thoughts about that because he's Mr. Concise. So
Mm.
he'd be the one saying, Mom, 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 take all this part out. Or worse, he'd say, let me rewrite this for you.
No, 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 no.
Now it's 40 pages long. I went to the monastery, I came back.
All the photographs.
Right, right. So yeah, it's a very hard thing to figure out.
Mm.
Anyway, um, we don't have to take up a bunch of your time, but it's been great to see you, and thank you for wading through this. Uh,
Mm.
Hopefully it's gonna be useful for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see what's happened here. I see now. In the black and white version. No. Uh, Very interesting. Okay, it's just decided to do its own thing. I don't know.
Mm.
Sometimes affinity is confusing for me because it has its own agenda. To quit out of it.
Frightening.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, just save that. Oh, no, 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 cancel that. It's just really confused. Don't say.
I'm sure you could get AI to edit it for you
Well,
too.
that might be the problem.
Yeah, it could be a problem. It could be. This, I visited my sister's grad class tonight and was answering their questions about Buddhism and about writing. Most of them had more questions about Buddhism than about writing, you know. And they were asking me about AI and writing, you know, in school.
Mm.
And I said, well, you guys are paying a lot of tuition, you know, so if you don't get the learning that you came here to get, you're cheating yourself. You know, you're not cheating anybody else, you're just cheating yourself. And so it'd be like going into a car dealer and giving them $25,000 and walking out without the car. So they were like, yeah, right. I said, yeah, you come out of it with some kind of a, you know, certificate, but you still have to go out and function in the world, and you can't think and you can't write. It's really a problem. So, so it's their very first semester in the School of Social Work. So they all,
Mm.
they all are aspirational. They all want to help people. And I said, you know, the Buddha was the original social worker, the very first one who said, you know, you know, I look out at the world, I see that suffering is universal.
Mm.
I'm concerned about the origins and the end of suffering. That's what you guys are doing. It was fun. Yeah, asked some very great questions.
Mm.
What's the school?
Loyola. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you so much.
All right. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.